Happy July! Somehow we are already halfway through 2021, so it's only apropos that this is episode 21 of Inside 300, presented by InsideTheMagic.com. I'm your host, Brian Perry. Last episode, we showcased the video of the troop of gorillas blown away by a little baby snake. If you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. It took place over at Animal Kingdom. Today's episode is completely focused on Walt Disney World news, from fireworks returning tonight to runDisney races returning later this year. And what is going on with Typhoon Lagoon? The clock has already started. We've got less than 300 seconds, so let's talk about it. runDisney? I thought you said Rum Disney. Never gets old. Exciting news for Disney folks who enjoy putting their body through torment and running up to 26.2 miles. runDisney has announced that live, real, in-person races are coming back before year's end. Disney Parks blog shared the exciting news, which detailed 4 weekends in the not-so-distant future. It all kicks off with the Disney Wine and Dine Half, November 4th through the 7th. Other weekends include the Marathon Weekend, January 5th through the 9th, Princess Half from the 24th through 27th of February, and the Springtime Surprise Weekend at the beginning of April. It's worth noting that Disney did mention how the returning races might not include every element from previous years. One of the main features of these races were the opportunity to pull over on the side of the road to grab a picture with some iconic Disney characters. The races often provided the opportunity to see some characters that aren't normally spotted in the parks, such as the fairies from the Tinkerbell films, Barbossa alongside Captain Jack Sparrow, and even Meg or Hercules. It's hard to imagine the races including the opportunity to get close to the characters until meet and greets return, though Disney could set things up so that they can be spotted along the course at a reasonable distance, similar to this shot of Merida at the 2018 Princess 10K, where she's on a bridge. Either way, people are excited to start running through the most magical place on Earth beginning later this year. Tonight's the big night that fireworks return to Walt Disney World, as Happily Ever After will launch to the public for the first time in over a year. Though just 2 nights ago, cast members at the Magic Kingdom were treated to a private showing of Disney World's signature nighttime spectacular. Musical artist Jordan Fisher was on hand to surprise the cast and lead them in a sing-along to Magic Kingdom's Lullaby. This video from Disney showcases when the cast joined in singing with Fisher, who sings the vocals for the song. Take a listen.
Ready to begin, let the wonder take hold. Keep going.
Once again, Happily Ever After's first public display will be later tonight, July the 1st. The show will then be replaced in exactly 3 months when Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary nighttime show, Disney Enchantment, begins in October. The House of Mouse, and more specifically Walt Disney World, keeps adding to its parks in an attempt to return to pre-2020 glory. With that said, a large portion of the resort remains closed. Character meet and greets remain absent, as do parades, some hotels, and perhaps most glaring of all, the Typhoon Lagoon water park. Typhoon Lagoon, of course, joined the Disney lineup in 1989 as Disney's second water park. We'll get to the original in a minute. The resort then welcomed their third in Blizzard Beach by the mid-90s. Both parks have flourished over the last 25 years, though as it stands today, only Blizzard Beach is welcoming guests, thus leaving Typhoon Lagoon looking like its older sibling, the legendary River Country USA. Here's a picture from the Eyes in the Sky of @BioReconstruct on Twitter that show the empty wave pool over at Typhoon. Now this, of course, immediately sparks the thought of the aforementioned River Country, which sat abandoned for nearly 2 decades over by Fort Wilderness. River Country closed for good in the early 2000s for a number of reasons, one of which included the lack of tourism after 9/11. The attendance numbers had been dwindling at the turn of the millennium, so one could argue the park was going to close anyway. But as for Typhoon's fate, it will almost certainly avoid the unfortunate end that River Country suffered from, because it's still extremely popular. However, a reopening date still remains unclear, and Disney shows no signs of planning to open it in the next few months. As for River Country's abandoned land, which so many of us went over to take a peek at, Disney finally ripped it up in the last couple of years to build Reflections, a Disney lakeside lodge, which of course is now in limbo because of COVID-19. Disney has stripped any mention of the unbuilt Reflections Resort on their website. So now instead of a glorious new hotel surrounded by the wilderness or an eerie abandoned water park that we were all infatuated with, we have a lot of dirt. Sad. So extra magic hours are kind of sort of back at Disney World. The company announced that beginning with the 50th anniversary in October, guests staying on Disney property will have early entry access to not one,
not two, not three,
but all 4 theme parks down in Orlando, as long as they have a valid theme park ticket. And that's going to do it for episode 21 of Inside 300, presented by InsideTheMagic.com. I'm your host, Brian Perry. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe, click that bell icon. This way you're notified every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning when we come to you with brand new episodes. I'm Brian Perry. I will see you Saturday, and as always,
Bye-bye.